Hello everyone! In the previous episode I showed how I painted the hood. It turned out quite good, but as always I have a problem with dust. I think it's clearly visible in the video how much dust is here. Before this, I painted several elements in the car, but I've never had this much dust before. So now, to avoid manually sanding the clear coat before polishing, I'll try using an orbital machine. I'll start with 1000 grit abrasive, then 1500, then 2000, and finally I'll polish the entire hood with compound, starting with the 1000 grit abrasive. Sanded the hood with 1000 grit sandpaper, and it's not too bad, actually. I even prefer it this way because I don't have to sand anything by hand. Here's the result. You can immediately see all the problem areas. After that, I take the 1500 grit sanding disc and sand the hood again. Apply the 1500 grit abrasive and will focus more on the edges with sandpaper. I'll also try to sand the curve of the hood. After the 1500 grit abrasive, the result looks like this. It's not as intimidating to approach the corners of the hood now. You can now see what intermediate result is achieved. By the way, here are the problem areas, but it's reassuring that I can't feel the remaining dust particles with my fingers. I think after the final polish, these craters and specks won't be very noticeable. So now, I'll go over it again with the 1500 grit abrasive to remove more dust particles, and then move on to the 2000 grit abrasive. I'll manually sand the corners of the hood to avoid damaging them. The same goes for the edges. Sanded the hood a bit more with the 1500 grit abrasive. I sanded the curves and edges of the hood by hand, and also went over specific areas with sandpaper where there were large dust particles and craters. Next, I take the 2000 grit abrasive. Went over the hood with the 2000 grit sandpaper. Then I identify areas where there are still dust particles or craters and carefully sand them with a block and 2000 grit abrasive. I think after polishing, nothing will be visible here for sure. I won't use the 3000 grit abrasive to sand the hood. Instead, I'll proceed to polishing. I'll use Manzerna 400 compound. First, I'll take a white hard pad, and in the end, I'll polish the hood with a soft black pad. I'll start by polishing the surface lengthwise and then crosswise. Finished polishing and the result looks like this. The surface seems to have become mirror-like. Let me remove the residue and see the final result. In the course of sanding I made mistakes. It turns out that the areas where I sanded the dust particles with the 1500 grit abrasive were not properly smoothed with the 2000 grit sandpaper. Fine scratches from the sandpaper are clearly visible. I have a 3000 grit soft abrasive, and now I'll resin the entire surface of the hood. After that, I'll have to polish the element again. Sanded the hood with the 3000 grit abrasive, and it turned out more or less normal, as I don't see any scratches from the previous sandpapers. After sanding, the hood became uniformly made. Some clear coat craters remained because there were so many. Most likely, I didn't degrease the surface well when painting. I don't think so much water could come from the paint gun. Look at how many small dots are on the clear coat. Now I'll polish the detail again, and let's see what the final result will be. Finished polishing the hood. This is the result. Since I can see my reflection, I managed to achieve a mirror-like surface after polishing. But most importantly, during the sanding process, I didn't use water, so it's possible to prepare the surface dry before further polishing. Share your experience in the comments of sanding a detail without using water. See you soon in the next videos. Bye!